It's time to dive beneath the surface and into the minds and hearts of your favorite celebrities and pop culture icons. Welcome to Up and Adam.
Hi, guys. Welcome back. And look who I have here with me today. I always get to say that, but I actually really enjoy it because sometimes when I sit here and I talk to myself or by myself, I'm like, who wants to listen to me? But thank you so much, Jim Taro, for joining us. And Jason, as always.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So I know we're here to talk about Below Deck, but before we do, I just want to let you guys know, of course, the second half of this will be with Femme Taro. Femme Taro is going to be doing her lightning round tarot readings. Guys, I'm going to be dropping the link, as I've said many times before, because I receive a lot of messages from you guys on Instagram. And if I don't always get back, I'm sorry. But I receive a lot of messages about the tarot readings, and some of you don't want to necessarily show your face because you're just not comfortable with it. So if that's the case, that is okay. You are more than welcome to post your questions in the chat. However, I do just want to give a little bit of a disclaimer, and I think Femme Taro will agree. It's a little bit easier when you can come on and at least talk and she can hear you, see you maybe, and it's a little bit more personal. Does that make sense?
It does. It's a give and take of energy, and it just helps if I see the other person, or at least if I can hear them, to pick up their energy and be more accurate with my reading, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I've had 2 readings or a few with you, and I've left feeling just so much more, I don't know, light or a little more understanding to like what's kind of going on with the energy and the universe and, just stuff like that. Yeah.
And last time you were in such a good mood. So if that's what you do to him, Femme Taro, you are more than welcome to read Jason up, down, side to side, left, right. Read him like a book. I don't care. But he came out of that reading like, yes, I can conquer the world. And I was like,
that's the whole point of readings. I don't see myself as just a tarot reader or a psychic. I see myself as a spiritual coach, because it's about coaching you to tap onto that spiritual side and help you in life. That's the whole point. And the whole point is, when you have readings with me, you don't pay me for me to tell you like all the negative stuff. And it's all about enlightenment and empowerment, right? Just empowerment, because then you just have more power with your life, and then you make you take the better decisions for you when you're in that.
Even if sometimes you just want to talk to someone else, like I have Adam all the time, who is very supportive. I mean, sometimes, but okay. And you have your friends and stuff, but sometimes you just want answers to questions I don't think maybe other people can answer that are in your life. So that kind of, yeah.
And I also think, real quick, before we jump into the Below Deck recap, guys, if you haven't already, go ahead, smash that like button, show some love. But I just want to tap onto that really quick, because I did a podcast today with Kempire. I can't wait for it to come out. It was such an amazing conversation. I actually cried halfway through because he brought up my pops. But with that, I think it's so important that you said that you try to just not focus on the negative, but focus on the positive, because that's what this platform, that's what I wanted to do with it. I've said that since day one. And I think you're such an amazing addition, Natalie. So as always, thank you so much for joining us. And with that, shall we jump in?
Let's do it.
Okay, Jason.
All aboard.
Well, I just did my Below Deck recap on my channel. It's going to be popping up in like the next hour. But
and he's getting these done faster too, by the way.
Yeah, like this is my favorite episode. It keeps getting better and better, because as I said before, season 1 for me was like, I could have done without the whole thing, really. But this season has been getting better and better. And we kind of start where we left off, where we lose the needy guests from before who had a COVID scare last time. The test came back all negative, but one of them is still feeling symptoms. So it's suggested by the doctors that they don't come back on the ship. So Captain Glenn has all their shit packed up and they're gone.
But I do want to say too, Captain Lee said before, and he said it to Francesca when she was trying to recycle stews. He said, sometimes dealing with the devil is better than dealing with the devil you don't. Now, I don't want to compare these charter guests to a devil, because there's a bunch of kids and the adults, whatever. I'm not calling anybody a devil, but wow, I thought the 4 were bad. Well, these new charter guests, there's 9 of them, and they are so demanding. Natalie, I know that you weren't able to catch the episode, but it kind of makes it more fun that we can explain it to you and kind of paint the picture before you see it. This is interesting. So get this. If you guys haven't caught the episode, the dynamic between the new charter guests So, sort of strange, right?
Yeah, it's a little. This is why I think Natalie, you love this.
He-
Listen.
Jason texted me while he was watching the show. He's like, I'm loving it. You're gonna love this, and I'm like, okay, I'm convinced.
They just replaced the neediest guest with needier, more like
my
dynamic guest. I'm going to give him that word.
Yes, we'll give you a colorful, dynamic, whatever you want to call it. But let me just paint this picture for you really quick, Natalie. You're going to die over this. Okay. So it's two ex-husbands chartering the yacht with their two new boyfriends who
are also boyfriends?
No. Oh. They're separate boyfriends, but then they collectively share 5 kids. So they're all chartering the boat together. But the husband is going to use this opportunity to propose to his new boyfriend, who used to be his daughter's boyfriend, but he stole him from the daughter. Oh my gosh, it's almost like a sick joke. If my dad ever stole my fiance, I would have so many questions. But are we having a little Mary from Salt Lake City kind of moment where there is like grandfather, not a grandfather, step grandfather?
It's
even weirder.
I think it's almost more strange. Well, never mind. I don't think. No, that's probably more strange.
Yeah,
but but I don't know. It's such an awkward dynamic. I can't even explain. Like even I guess they are famous or in the limelight for being the first same-sex couple in the UK for using a surrogate to have kids.
What a thing to be famous for. And
are they blonde? Is one of them blonde?
Yes, his name's Barry.
Okay,
Barry
I know who you're talking about. Yeah, they became quite famous in the UK for being allowed to go through this process as a same-sex couple.
Oh, well.
So, okay, I know who they are.
Okay, so if you already know who they are, then that gives you a little bit of a head start on it. But they're quite the colorful bunch, and I don't mean that because I remember the LGBTQIA community, but I can also say that too, because I am too. But moving forward and kind of getting back into it, no, the last charter guest left, and surprisingly, they left a tip. I was shocked.
Yeah,
what was
it?
A
decent tip for like what a day that
it was
they
a
were
day
there or something like that. I don't know if it was $5.
I thought it was $5,000.
Really?
Yeah, I thought it was 5,000.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, well, somebody will comment below and let us know what it was. But I thought, hey, that's pretty generous considering you guys got kicked off the boat, even though one person was sick and we're going through a global pandemic. So you should have been taken off the boat because who wants to jeopardize everybody's health? But I want to jump into more of the crew really quick because this episode is a little bit of a shit show. Excuse my French. Okay, so you remember, Natalie, that Gary and Sydney, they actually hooked up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Sydney is no Elizabeth Franchini, who was the third stew on last season of Below Deck, who was love-struck, but she's sort of a love-struck puppy. He no longer wants anything to do with her. He's that typical kind of douchey guy who hooks up with a girl and then throws her off to the side and then moves on to the next, doesn't care about her feelings, completely disregarding everything about her. And that's not how she feels. She is enamored by this guy. She likes him. She thinks he's cute. He had sex with her, so she thinks that there is a connection there. But this guy's sort of a dog, so he's ready to move on to the next, which is the stew, Allie. Unfortunately, Allie didn't have the best episode, and this got me a little choked up too. Allie received news in this episode from her father. Her father texted her and said, "Hey, I need you to call me. It's about Pa." She ended up finding out that her grandfather passed away, but she's stuck on a charter yacht, which is actually terrible. And I was thinking about it in my head, how many people are watching this who can probably relate? Because you don't need to be on a charter yacht, but we just went through a global pandemic where we were all separated from our parents, our grandparents, and people who were passing away, unfortunately, and we couldn't get to them. And just thinking about that, I'm sure this resonates with so many people.
I mean, it resonates with me as well, because I was actually on tour with Cirque when I lost my grandfather. And, I had never missed a show ever in Cirque du Soleil. And I was like, a couple hundred shows in, I never missed a show. I was always on point. And my dad called me and he's like, you know what, you need to come home. Like your grandfather would probably said, just stay and, muscle through. But I think it's hard, especially when you have a job where you're traveling a lot. There's a lot of expectations of you, but I think it kind of worked out in her favor because I don't know if she would have been able to get home during the pandemic and to deal with funerals right now and stuff like that. I think maybe her being surrounded by a different group of friends or people might have been good.
Well, jumping back to it really quick, which that's a sad story. Jumping back to it really quick. And again, if you guys haven't already, go ahead, smash that like button, show some love. We're going to start taking calls in a little bit, but we need to get through this recap. I just want to get back to Allie because Allie asked Sydney in this episode. Obviously, we know that Gary is a big flirt. Gary hooked up with Sydney and he's flirting with Allie. Allie asked Sydney, does it bother you that he flirts with me? And she's like, well, no, it doesn't bother me that he flirts with you. Just pretty much you better not flirt with him. And we're starting to see a little bit of a shady palm tree side of her because if you see the preview for the upcoming episode, she likes Gary. She thinks he's a flirt. She likes the banter. And I think she's about to take it to that next level where she crosses that line eventually. But we can see where they're trying to sneak around Sydney. When Sydney's sleeping, when Sydney's doing whatever she's doing, they're kind of, I don't know, spineless jellyfish with a hidden agenda. I always like using that one. That's how I feel about them.
Yeah.
I honestly think they're more into the excitement rather than into each other, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I think it's sort of like to break the monotony and the routine. So they're like, okay, I'm going to sleep with this guy. I'm going to be infatuated. Then the other one's like, okay, I'll sneak. I think they just do it because they need some excitement.
I'm surprised they go for him and not JL though, or somebody else.
I mean, or just
I know, right?
Dude, it's gross. Like, just wait till you're done. Like, I don't know.
Keep it in your pants.
Or, I don't know. But Sydney, like her character, the first time I saw Sydney, I was like, this girl is on point. She is like working. And then of course, like, okay, you hook up with your boss, cool, get over it. But now like the desperation and the obsession she has with Gary is like,
is there an echo?
No, I don't hear one. I don't know.
Okay.
No, but like that whole obsession that she has now, I'm just kind of like, it's weird to see her like that.
Yeah, and she did say, at first, she did say in her interview, listen, if a guy doesn't like me, he doesn't like me, I move on. But as soon as she said it, I don't think that she realized that, of course, clever editing and producers, they caught her right after and she put her head down and she looks so sad. And I'm like, well, you don't believe that. And then as we see her actions throughout the episode, she tries kissing him. He literally just kind of like face palms, like, nah, and runs away, which is, again, you hooked up with her. So, of course, what is she supposed to think? And then he's trying to hook up with Allie all night because they have the night off because they don't have the charter guests. So they're waiting for the new charter guest, this eccentric, colorful group. I like saying that. They're waiting for the new charter guest. So they have a night where they can play. Well, he keeps saying all night, I'm going to hook up with Allie. I'm going to hook up with Allie. And as soon as he goes back to his room, Sydney jumps right in his bed. And she's like, Cuddles, come here. And the calling guy, who's the engineer, is like, oh, shit, you got yourself in a major, major problem, friend. You made your bed, you lie on it, right? You lie on it?
I mean, like, honestly, if I'm the boss, I'm probably not going to sleep with one of my deckhands, but that's going to come back to bite him in the ass. It already is, but I think it's just going to get worse and worse as it goes on, especially since they have to stay on the boat.
So then what? You're going to go to a different department and you're going to hook up with her too? You're not learning anything.
Yeah.
And you have one that's chasing you around. What do you think this is why I don't like people who just, I was going to use a different word, but I don't want to use that. I don't like people who think very silly. Let's just say that. Because in your head, how are you processing this? You have this girl who's following you around like a lovesick puppy. She's trying to jump in your bed. She's trying to hang out with you. And then you're over here trying to hook up with her friend, her closest friend on the boat. And you know how she feels about you. How do you think that's going to make them act? And how do you think that's going to affect your job and your life throughout the rest of the season? Right?
You're assuming that he's using his head. I mean, the top head, right?
He's using, I was about to say, he's using some head. I just don't know what head it is.
He isn't. So let's start from that.
Oh, okay.
I don't think he's got like a long-term plan. I think he's just like a little puppy in heat, in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is,
I agree.
Typical guy.
But it was kind of cute. They're playing Truth and Dare, and Danny, who I really like, who she could have easily have been the chief stew. They start playing Truth and Dare, and they ask JL, who do you fancy on the boat? And he says, Danny. And then they dared him to kiss her, and you can tell now they're kind of forming this little flirtationship.
Who, Danny and JL?
Yeah.
Oh, Danny straight out called it and was like, I'm not interested. I mean, she even said that
she's
32. Playing this. I'm 32. I'm playing this high school game. I mean, to me, Danny is a 10, and like JL is just like a young kind of.
He's like a
Yeah.
7. Give
You
him a
know.
7. He can't hold his alcohol, and he's kind of like,
Yeah, I mean, but like to someone like Danny, who's kind of been in charge and experienced and, older, I don't know if that's kind of what she's looking for, even for a boat manse.
I think she's more of a woman, and like she acts more of a woman, and he's more still like a child. I'm gonna say. I mean, he is a fit guy. Don't get me wrong, but he's got that childish sort of charm about him.
He's still a puppy. He's a little dog.
Puppy, yeah.
He's a puppy. Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Puppy tail.
Danny ended up saying, I'm 32, you're 24, which actually made me feel bad because it's only an 8-year age gap and we have a 10-year age gap. I'm like, girl, what are you trying to say? This is working out, right? And also, guys,
I don't know why that made me laugh.
I think
so. That makes you a cougar?
Yeah, that makes you a cougar.
I'm a cougar. All right.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's the first time and last time you'll ever be called that.
Yeah, don't ever call me a daddy.
Okay. And
because that's the way I feel like the relationships with the Tony and Barry with their boyfriends. I mean, at least Barry got his boyfriend from his daughter, but did the other one come from like one of those sites?
Okay, that makes it better. You got it from a daughter.
They have websites for this stuff, like
sugar babies.
Yeah.
Right.
Is that the same for like boys and men or?
I don't know. Yeah, there's Grindr. There's all kinds of stuff.
Wow.
People have a way to find a way. You know what I'm saying? This is 2021. I do want to ask. I just saw you take a sip. What are you drinking over there, Natalie?
Just water.
Oh,
My Queen of Cups.
I love your Queen of Cups, but it needs some sangria. Guys, today's Sangria Tuesday. If you're in the chat room, go ahead and comment what you guys are drinking. If you're even drinking at 2:35 Eastern Standard Time, because it's only like
or 11:30 on the West Coast.
Yeah, or it's actually only 8 o'clock in Hawaii.
It's also a Tuesday.
Okay, it's Tuesday. If you're having a drink that's not water, comment and let's keep it moving.
I do want to bring something up because Shannon Van, who's one of our moderators, who's awesome, has a really good channel, Shannon Van. Everyone should check it out because I love her. But she kind of mentioned there was a rumor, and it's just a rumor, that maybe Adam from season 1, the chef, would come back this season.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I wasn't sure if that was, going to be a thing or not. But now as I'm watching Natasha, especially with like the promises she made to these new charter guests, they said, hey, there's 9 people on this boat, by the way.
Well, they wanted to have a meeting before with the chef.
Right. And there's 9 people. So already they're trying to over accommodate with like,
because there's only supposed to be 6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So with rooms and sleeping arrangements, etc. So Natasha says, do you want to do like a family style buffet kind of thing?
She shouldn't have used the word buffet though.
No, you can't. That's where it went
That's
wrong,
where she
for
lost
sure.
them.
But they're like, no, we want everything plated. And that's 9 plates going out every single course. So,
that's like 36 plates.
That's a lot. But she can't keep up. She can't perform. And I knew she set her expectations so high that she's setting herself up to fail. And then already in next week's episode, you can see that breakfast is a problem. So I'm really curious if that rumor will be true, if they would bring Adam back.
Well, we have to tell Natalie what happened in the dinner service and anybody else who wasn't watching.
Right.
So
an hour for steaks for dinner to be served at different times, different temperatures. Some came out cold.
9 different plates came out probably within a span of 40 minutes at different times. So the daughter was eating before anybody else got their plates. But she did say, she's like, listen, you guys don't want family style. I'll give you Michelin star. And that's a tall
order. I've worked for the best restaurants in the world. I can do it, no problem.
Okay.
Yeah, but hold on. What was the delay about? I mean, why was there a delay with the steaks and stuff? I mean,
because she wasn't. It wasn't the service. Like that's the thing. It's like they complained to Daisy and Danny about the service, and even Barry, the primary, was like, "This can't happen ever again. We can't eat like this. We can't be eating at different times." Dinner was scheduled for 7 o'clock. They didn't seat till about 7:15, 7:20. Mussels started going out. Just a small order of mussels that literally I could have eaten by myself, and even Barry said that.
Yeah,
and that went out. And then they're waiting for like more mussels, and the steaks didn't arrive until like almost 8 o'clock. And then the other primary steak didn't get there till 8:15, and it was cold. So
But to be fair too, they're trying to take in, again, we learned this on my interview with Charlie Walters from Below Deck, who was a charter guest. We learned that before you actually go on the boat, they sit you in the marina or wherever you dock, whatever that's called. I think it's called a marina. They sit you there, and then production comes and meets up with you, and they tell you bring it. Like however your personality is, let's amplify it for the show. Let's give you the drama. But you also have to have realistic expectations. Almost like when Chef Rachel quit and she told Captain Lee to go F himself, remember? And that sheet was so long, but they were awesome and she killed it. But for these guys, they want 9 different steaks, 9 different ways, then 1 slab of chicken, then regular mash, then garlic mash, then fries, but don't put salt on these fries, but you can put salt on these fries. Like, they were making it almost impossible for her in this small kitchen to do 9 different plates. This is why they should have listened. You should have just taken it family style. Like, be a little bit more accommodating on your side, even though,
you know, I think there's a way to convince people, you know, just working in the hospitality industry, like,
Right.
We talk. I
I
haven't
agree.
even had that much sangria. And just working in the hospitality industry and just, oh my God.
you're cut out. Give me the sangria. Yeah,
Working
have
in the
some,
industry, you know, like, if you convince, sometimes people don't know what they want. So convince them, let them know, hey, let's try it like this tonight. I'm sure you're going to love it. If you don't love it, we're going to do it your way tomorrow. I mean, people, I would say yes to that, you know, especially when you have 9 people, you want to be fed. It's your first night. It's your first dinner. But
I agree. And that's where Kate and Hannah, and I keep coming back to them, but they are the best.
yeah,
That's where Hannah and Kate were really good at. They knew how to navigate the charter guest in a direction that worked for the boat, for the crew, right? But what I don't understand is when other chefs have been, I just feel that the chef hasn't had experience on a boat. Because if you've worked on yachts before, you know what to expect. And most of these charters are, even in my opinion, in my experience, they're quite light. Because one day they eat like 2 meals on board. Sometimes they might eat out. A lot of times with private charters, for instance, it's a lot more demanding. Because the owner might want 3 meals a day, and they rarely, you know, eat out. So I feel that she's a bit inexperienced. Hence, she's messing up, and she messed up with the order, even though I haven't seen the episode. So I'm just
you'll think so.
And also, you know, who was it? Was it Adam or Ben who actually served a 10-course meal?
Chef Rachel, wasn't it?
I think it was Ben, wasn't it? Or
Was it Ben? I know Chef Rachel killed it too. She did.
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Who did before? Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I would say probably Chef Ben over Chef Adam, because I think he's a little bit of a better chef, but
Great.
that's subjective.
Right.
No, but I do agree that I agree with Barry. This is like a double-edged sword. I agree with Barry in the sense, like, listen, I don't want to eat at separate times, but also, you know, like she suggested, the family style. But I also see what you're saying. Daisy as the chief stew should have everybody's names down. Daisy as the chief stew should have totally guided the conversation and how dinner service was going to go, with still catering to the guests. Like, listen, when we say family style, it's not just family style. We're going to make it so amazing.
Right.
It's going to be the best.
They
spread.
had the discussion with Natasha herself. And
But
Natasha,
that's the thing.
Yeah.
you know, like, maybe Daisy could have saved that, but that was one of their, you know, requests. It was Chef Ben, by the way, everyone's talking about.
But can I just say that if you're a charter guest and you're chartering a yacht for 3 days, just 3 days, and you're paying so much money, do you really want to have family style? I think you just want to go for the
you're
experience.
right.
That's the thing.
But when you add 3 more people to a boat when there was supposed to be 6 max, I mean, you kind of also have to remember, and I guess charter guests don't, because they have the money to just not care. And sometimes when you have that certain level of money, you are used to getting what you ask for and what you want. I think that's fair to say. So I think they don't care or realize that Natasha's quarters, her kitchen, is not that big, you know, especially to be pumping out all of these custom orders for every single person. It sounds a little ridiculous to me, but like Natasha said, these were her words verbatim. She said, I'm not a Hindu god with 8 hands that can serve a million different things. And I kind of
don't promise it.
Well, that's true too. And
Yeah.
I learned this. I had an internship that I couldn't follow through with when I was 20 years old. And the woman who was in charge of my internship, when I told her I couldn't handle 3 jobs and an internship in LA, I was like struggling. She said, well, then guess what? Don't overpromise and underdeliver. That's your problem. And I was like, and it just stuck with me. And that's exactly what Natasha did. She overpromised, she overcommitted, and underdelivered.
Yeah.
And that's where the problem is.
But that's, you know, that's where you have a chief stew. You have like people who run the floor. Let's say, you know, the back of the house is the kitchen, and the kitchen stays in the kitchen. But Natasha's ego talking to them, because all chefs have this ego where they think they can do anything. But let the people who are on the floor take care of, you know, the front of house or the guests. Let Daisy take care of that. She should have maybe had Daisy go and talk to them, like you said, first. But
then the guests also, and we didn't say this yet, but the guests definitely really have a thing for JL, right? And I don't hate anybody, but I really dislike when people, it's almost like kind of disrespectful. They see JL and the guys, they're a couple of gay men, which I can say that because so are we. You always have to be careful with what you say, but they're a couple of gay men. And as soon as they see JL dropping off the luggage, they're like, ooh, I'm going to call you Daddy Longlegs. Where are you going to be, Daddy Longlegs? And they're like making him uncomfortable, which isn't cool.
Well, A, it's gross. B, imagine you and I were on a, you know, yacht charter thing, and like the yacht boy or whatever, the deckhand comes in, we're like, okay,
yacht boy, that sounds so dirty.
How would you react to me if I was like, hey Adam, oh look at JL, Daddy Longlegs? It's like, no,
I would take out a life insurance policy and you would disappear.
Yeah, if you did
imagine if a man did that to a woman, to the female crew, right? I mean, double standards.
And imagine how that would exactly. And imagine how, can you imagine if Daisy walked in and they're like, ooh, what's your name, Daisy? We're going to call you Mama Legs because you look like, what? That sounds, 1, it's sick. 2, it's uncomfortable. 3, it's annoying. And 4, you're doing it right in front of your 5 kids that are sitting there. 4 of them are underage. So that's probably not comfortable for anyone. And if they are used to it, maybe if they grew up with you and that's how you talk, I guess they might be accustomed to it, but it doesn't make it okay just because you're used to it. It's still gross and uncomfortable. But this is what I was trying to get to really quick. Guys, again, if you haven't already, go ahead, hit that like button. I'm going to drop the link. I'm going to jump back into it real quick, but I'm going to drop the link for you guys. We're going to start taking calls in the next 5 minutes, so to speak. Go ahead, start calling in, lining up. If you would like to ask a question, whether it's about your relationships, your finances, your future, call in, ask Femme your question, or you're more than welcome. If you're not comfortable coming on, you can come on and post your question in the chat and I will bring it up, as many as I can. Getting back to it really quick, why I was talking about this is it's another unrealistic expectation. The guys want Daddy Longleg, JL, which Daddy Longlegs, JL, to serve them at night. They want to take him from the deck crew and they want him to be the one assisting in dinner service. And he comes out, he's giving people the wrong plates. He's messing up. He's calling people by the wrong names. I'm like, this is exactly why you shouldn't have asked for that. You're being gross and he can't deliver.
There has been this request before, and maybe someone in the comments can help me out with this. There has been this request. I don't know if it's on Below Deck Med. I think it was.
It was Ashton with the abs.
Right. You know, and like sometimes, who was the chief stew then?
I think, wasn't it Hannah with Ashton?
I can't remember.
It was, yes.
I remember she said, well, he has other work to do. He's not available. Like, she kind of drew the line there too. And I think that's like, you know.
Yeah, I think that's important. You should draw the line and be like, oh, I'm sorry, he's so busy on the deck. But instead,
they have jobs to do on the boat too. It's not.
But in Daisy's head, she's thinking, listen, whatever, JL can muck it for a second. That's a bigger tip for us. So she's kind of thinking more for herself and the rest of the people, as opposed to what the service is really going to look like if they have this clumsy guy, this big oof, come out and try to give everybody and serve everybody. And then even, by the way, when he comes out serving people, the couples are like, ooh, where have you been? Where do they keep you? You look like you've been working out. And I'm watching the kids' faces, and the youngest kids are 10. And I'm like, this is so awkward. What are you doing?
Imagine if there weren't cameras around. And I'm speaking again of experience because I've received such comments myself from charter guests. So, and I wasn't even crew. I was the charter manager. I was a broker, right? And I've gotten like, so imagine if there weren't cameras, and there is a lot of sexism generally. There is that power play and power struggle there as well when it comes to the charterer and the crew or whoever's, you know, helping them or working for them. So that's quite, but it's cringy. It's cringy.
Are there cameras on this boat? Like, I mean, not cameras for production, but are there, like, when you go on these yachts, do they have like little cameras in the corner where somebody who's up?
Yes.
Where
Some
you
of
can-
them do. Yeah. Especially for the external part of the camera, they do for security. Some of them may have some cameras indoors, but not, let's say, not in the galley or the cabins and stuff like that. But it's mainly outside, like out the external part of the boat.
Okay.
And I have one more question for you, Femtero. Like even on a big charter yacht, we see like a group of 9 is big, even for any yacht, right?
Yeah, it is. Well, listen, normally it's around 6 to 8 crew. So it's always like even numbers. And that's because of the cabins and the beds. So I don't know. How did they fit 9 though? I haven't seen the episodes.
Well, the both husbands and both boyfriends are sharing a room. So I'm curious.
This little interesting dynamic. Yeah. And then they have a pull-out sofa that's in the main, is it the galley? Or not the galley, in the main salon.
Sky Lounge. The Sky Lounge?
No, I think it's the salon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Or unless that is the skyline. I mean, you know better than I do. Why am I trying to correct you? I don't know. Sorry.
I don't know which part of the boat. So let's say the Sky Lounge. So, okay. So he's, all right. Okay. But that's quite normal. And then again, let me remind you, but there are laws, right? So a boat can have up to a certain number of crew on board, no more. And it's all written down in order for you. Oh, I forget the word. There's a word for it. So every time a boat leaves the marina or the port, they have to get they have to sign and fill out permission slip. But there's a word for it. Sorry, I can't think of it right now.
You're so interested.
Anyway,
so, do you mean to account for everyone?
To account for everyone, to account where the boat is going, it's just a procedure that happens all over the world at every port, right? So the boat is not like they can just sail away anytime they want. They have to go to the port authorities, sign that paper, fill out that paper, name the guests, name the crew, and provide the passports.
Wow.
And this is for security reasons because of,
Yeah, because what if you get somebody on a boat, then you go off, that person disappears,
Exactly.
they've never been accounted for.
Exactly. So
I'm
there
sure
is
this
a law.
will
So there's a law that says that you cannot have, you can have on board, especially on charter yachts. Private yachts is it's a bit different. So it's passenger manifest. Thank you.
Passenger manifest.
And what they do is that they have to have the same amount of crew and guests that can sleep on board. So you can't have more than what the boat sleeps, if that accommodates, if that makes sense, unless it's like a day trip, unless you're having a party on board. But if it's a charter, so I don't know how they work. They must have maybe sort of not ridden a crew member, but maybe had a crew member sleep on another boat or in a hotel for those 3 days if they had 9 people on board and one of them was sleeping on the sofa. I'm assuming.
Okay, and I'm sure that's adjusted by the size of the boat.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Because I don't know how many, I don't remember how many cabins the Parsifal has. I think, guest cabin.
4, 3?
I think 4 or 5, I'm assuming.
Oh,
No.
I don't know.
I
We have
don't
to go
know.
back and
We have
maybe
to
it'll be
Google
at the boat show.
I don't think but I thought Parsifal 3 was here at one point because there was a huge sailboat, like up out of the water.
It's gone now.
Here, yeah, it's gone.
Yeah.
But
I was trying to find who's the charter manager, the charter managing company that manages the Parsifal actually. Because
yeah,
if I knew them, I wanted to get some info.
Yeah.
Right.
Hey, we like that.
Yeah,
Good
because
insider
I
info.
still have contacts with a lot of these charter brokers and companies. So I have to dig deeper, and maybe next time I'll have some more inside information.
All right.
really cool.
All
Yeah.
right. I like that.
Well, thanks for letting me join you.
No, of course. I just want to say before we wrap up on the recap and we start taking questions, moving on to next week, if you guys haven't seen it, get your hand off me. If you haven't seen it, Natasha is going to lose her, legit. She is about to rip Daisy's head off. She calls Daisy a B word. Daisy's telling Captain Glenn that dinner service, breakfast service, it's not going well. She walks up mid-sentence while pretty much Daisy's telling on her. And then she gets very in her feelings because, as we know, chefs have egos. And we also know that the Tinder is going to go down. And without a Tinder, you cannot go on a charter. So I didn't know that either, but we learned that this upcoming episode, and it looks like it's going to be really good.
It looks like it's going to be good because it looks like the guests are stuck on land and the Tinder is not working, so they can't get to them. But we've been tricked by this clever Bravo editing before, so I'm curious to see how true that is.
Yeah.
But
all right. Well,
that was a good talk.
Yeah. Thank you so much for joining us. Guys, if you haven't already, go ahead
and
smash
Jason out. You're like, okay, thank you. Bye.
Jason's gonna go walk Harlow and Theo.
Yes, I am.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, we got to go after.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I love that. All right. Well, guys, if you haven't already, go ahead, smash that like button. I'm going to drop us down real quick while I readjust and Jason gets out of the picture. Bye, Jason.
Bye.
If you guys haven't already, make sure to go check out Jason's new channel, Down with Jason. You can also find it in my community tab. And we just dropped the Real Housewives of New York. The new season trailer dropped on Bravo, but I also added it to my stories on YouTube. So you guys can go check that out too. I'm dropping the link for you guys to call in and ask Femme Tarot any questions about life, finances, relationships, career, just anything except for health. Yeah, everything except for health. So go ahead and start calling in whenever you like, or even post your questions and I will bring them up. I'm going to drop myself down and then I'm going to bring up the first question really quick. Ready?
Yeah.
Well, you have to say bye.
Your show. Oh, sorry guys. Bye.
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 Well, I have to read the question first before you go.
I was confused.
Oh, well then.
So was I. I was like, you're going to leave me alone?
Yeah. Like, bye. Good luck with the rest of my show.
Question. I spoke to you before, Femme. I can see when a person is going to die in spirits and glimpse of future events. I stay away from people because it can take its toll. How can I get the spirits to settle down? Wow. That's an interesting question.
That's real quick. Yeah. Okay. You can draw. All right. Okay. So that's quite an interesting and a big question, actually. It's got different parts of it. So obviously you're an intuitive and you're an empath, so you're feeling energies. You don't have to stay away from people, but what you can do is learn how to shield yourself and protect yourself, April. That's the main thing, how to ground yourself. So the way you can do it is through meditation. You can always carry crystals with you, grounding crystals that can protect you. And if you are about to go meet some people that usually you feel quite sort of drained after meeting them, or you feel anxious because you feel that you're getting like a bad vibe or a bad feeling, then I highly suggest that you close your eyes, you take some time and you start imagining a white light surrounding you and wrapping you, almost like you're in a sphere, a bubble, a white bubble. And that's actually enough to protect you, for you not to feel those feelings. Since you have this gift and this ability, you have to learn how to ground yourself and how to protect yourself. That's the number one when we are working with the spirit world. And I hope that answered your question. There's a lot more. I really hate plugging myself or my media and stuff, but you can go on.
No, plug away.
I always, on my channel, I always forget to ask people to subscribe, and I never do it. I just can't.
You have to. That's how we can find you.
I forget. But you can go to my channel, Femme Tarot, here on YouTube. I do these live shows every Monday, and I go really deep and in depth about all these things. So I think you can pick up a lot of information and learn a lot through that. I hope that helped.
I sure did. Well, Kempire has a question too. He said, what are some grounding crystals?
Some grounding crystals, there are lots of grounding crystals. So you can always use the most simple, easiest to access and to find, and even it's cost effective, is a quartz. So the quartz is basically it's a magnifier. It amplifies whatever it is you use it for. So if you're using it for divination, it's going to magnify that. If you're using it during meditation, it will as well. But you can actually program it. You can program a crystal, especially a quartz, to be grounding. Okay, so what you do is you can either sage it, or you can just put it underneath when there's the full moon. On the night of the full moon, just leave it outside, let it sort of like take in the the moon energy. And then what you do is you hold it in your hand and you talk to it, basically, as silly as it sounds. And you say, I program you to be my grounding stone. And you just repeat that a few times, and then you just let it do its thing for a few days. And then you have a crystal which is dedicated to that. There are lots of crystals. I don't have all of them here. Tourmaline as well is grounding and highly, and it's also highly protective. And green gems as well, green stones are also. Jade is I know it's more rare and it's quite expensive, but jade is a fantastic stone for grounding too.
Kempire said, I love it. I'm going to go grab my crystals. Can I ask you a question really quick while we have people? And again, I know that I got this video up later today, guys. My apologies. I got the video up later, so I'm sure I'm going to have a lot of people who are like, damn it, man, I missed the live. And I usually get everything up pretty fast. But
and that was my fault. Ladies.
No, it wasn't. No, it was my fault because I wasn't as prepared last night in order to put it up, just because things are going crazy over here. And then also, it's okay. It's okay. Things happen. We're all here now. But I just wanted to see, can I ask you a question really quick? Kempire said, it's my fault. No, it's not your fault either. But I did an amazing podcast today with Kempire, which he will be dropping this week. So you guys will have to go check it out. I wanted to ask you a question, and this is for anybody who sometimes questions, what you say, or if they believe in tarot reading and stuff like that. You said something to me that I won't forget, or that I haven't forgotten. And it was about a career change in my future. And I don't know if you necessarily remember this because it was a while back, but
I remember. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we were talking about YouTube, and you said, as amazing as YouTube is, you don't necessarily see me doing it for forever. And you said something with maybe a writing project might come up.
Right.
So, Lynette, I see you in the room. I'm about to bring you up. Actually, hold your thought, and oh, okay. It's connecting.
You hold your thought. It's your thought.
Oh, yeah. That was my thought. What am I doing? Gosh, Jason, don't give me sangria. No. What I wanted to ask you was, I received a call yesterday, and it was someone asking me who produces and does animations. And I sent in my script, my book. I sent it in to them, and they called me back with a lot of positive direction and just letting me know what they found on certain pages that might not make sense for a script, where I might have bolded something or a word didn't make sense, how the characters look, how it can be better. And it didn't deter me or discourage me in any capacity. It made me just want to do it and bang it out and do more. And it also made me feel good about it. Can I ask if there will be anything that comes up in the next few months with that? With
that specific project, or generally? With
that specific project. Like if I get my ASS to work and I start making the alterations and I start changing taking the direction, will anything manifest out of that? Or will I be just sitting here with my fun little book that will never go anywhere?
Oh, no, listen, I'll ask, but I can tell you that I know, because I saw it and I feel it. And I told you last time as well, that you're going high toward, like you're going up, but towards a different direction, not completely different to your skill set and your talents, but it's going to be different. It's going to be more meaningful for you. But
I love that.
Thought. Now hold that thought and let me out the cards.
I love that, because it's, even though it's like a Dr. Seussy fun, whimsical, wonky, it's an animated series. It's called The What, and it's pretty much each one represents like something that we deal with in our lives growing up, whether it's alcoholism. What represents alcoholism and that journey, and depression and anxiety, and it's things that we all deal with, but it's more of a fun way of navigating and talking about those journeys in a productive way, as opposed to just really beating ourselves up.
I get it. Yeah.
I always talk about alcoholism, and then I'm over here like, oh, sangria.
I would be drinking too if I wasn't doing readings. Ethical reading. Now, Wow. Adam. Hold on. I want to pull one more card. Oh my God. I'm so excited.
Are you buttering me up?
No. Okay. Wait. I pulled. Wait. I pulled the card and I don't like the card I pulled. So I want to see what that means. All right. Okay. I know what that means. So Page of Swords. I got what's happening now. New opportunity. Something you have to learn. Again, the writing. It's about, it's about content and writing and creativity. And I think and I feel that you are led to learn something. You will have to. Are you going to take a course? Are you thinking of taking like a writing course or some kind of course or a seminar, or they might even suggest it to you for you to kind of like expand a little bit?
They did suggest that I expand. They suggested that they said, as amazing as the story is, we think that you should create sort of like a prequel before you put this out there that kind of explains the characters more in depth on their own individual journeys. So they gave me a task, and listen, I love a good challenge.
Go for it. You know what? Take a course, do a workshop, do something like that. Like open your horizon. It's going to boost you and help you. And this is the energy I feel right now. And you're thinking of different ways. You're kind of trying to grasp. You have all these ideas out there and you're trying to grasp which one is the best for you and it's going to work for you. And I feel your energy that you're quite confused at the moment. You're sort of like, I don't want to make the wrong decision. I don't want to make any mistakes. This is a great opportunity. But you know what? Keep that like change your energy, bring it down a little bit. Don't be so anxious, because the universe is going to bring whatever it's going to bring for you because it's meant to. But at the same time, in order for you to push that energy forward, you should like really sort of like, as I said, work on some of your skill sets or learn something new. It will really sort of help you forge forward faster, if that makes sense. High Priestess, you're a Cancer, you're highly intuitive, we know that, and you're highly empathic as well because you're feeling. So follow your instinct. I feel that instinctively, intuitively what you want to do and whether this is going to work for you and how you want to take it. But I feel there is that sort of like insecurity that's blocking you right now, because you're like, okay, YouTube is going so well. It's working for me. I'm enjoying it. So how much energy or how much money or how much time should I put in this? You're overanalyzing.
That's exactly how I feel.
Yeah. Go with your intuition and you can't go wrong. Well, this is where I got the Tower card. Now, and then I pulled the Knight of Cups. This is a warning. It doesn't mean the Tower card. We know that in tarot means something disruptive is going to happen, something that's going to sort of, it's a Tower moment, something that's going to bring chaos in your life. But I pulled this card as well, the Knight of Cups. For whatever reason, I see you as a Knight of Cups as well. And what I'm being told, and this is not predicting what's going to happen with this project. What it's telling me is that, except for following your intuition, don't be overly romantic. Don't romanticize this project. As good as it is and as great as the potential may be, don't romanticize it and what's going to give. Stay grounded, step by step. Don't overanalyze. Use your intuition and you'll get there. Let me pull another card. 10 of Cups. Absolutely. So yes, so there might be a point where you're going to feel, is that the right thing? Should I do this? Or what did he mean by saying that? And as I said, don't romanticize in the beginning because you will get disappointed. That's what I'm trying to say. That go in more cautious and more shielded. Don't be too open with your thoughts, with your ideas, right? And 10 of Cups. So I don't know if Jason is going to be involved in this and somehow, except for the support part that he's always so supportive to you. But I do feel that he's going to play also a great part to sort of like keep you in that grounded and balanced energy that you need during this project.
Oh, yes. I talked about that today on Kempire's podcast. If I ever, which I would never, if I ever got a big head in any capacity, this guy over here will definitely bring me right back down. He keeps me grounded for sure. But again,
and that's what he's going to do. He's going to keep you in check always. And that's what you need, because you shouldn't be floating up. As a Cancer as well, Once you start floating and you have all these ideas, you just grasp reality and you just lose who you are. So I'll keep reminding you to be grounded as well. Don't worry.
Okay. I appreciate that. I love that. That makes me even more excited. I'm ready for it.
I like what I see.
Thank you. I'm good. I'm excited. All right. Well, I know that other people have questions in here and they're posting them. I guess I shall start bringing them up. I've seen a few. I have to scroll up because I don't want to skip you guys. Here, I'll do this one first. It says, hey guys, I wanted to ask about my career because I really want to go back to school to further my career, but I feel hesitant and just need reassurance, or if I should do it, or if you see it happening.
Hold on. Let me just so the question is whether you should go back to school or you should continue with a career. Is that
Well, she's saying, I wanted to ask about my career. I really want to go back to school to further my career, but she's hesitant about furthering her career, or if she should just stay put.
Okay, got it. I missed the further my career part. Okay. Yeah, I see it is quite stressful for you. I got the 5 of Swords right now. It's like, what should I do? I'm not sure. It's a bit like Adam right now, like, oh, what's going on? You're just overly stressed, overthinking for no reason, in my opinion, but because you kind of know what you want to do. I get the 4 of Wands. So what are your friends saying? What are your close ones saying? You should listen to them. They know best. They want the best for you, and they're giving you good advice. That's what I'm being told right now. The Star, go like whatever you wish for, whatever you put your mind to into, you are going to do great. So I'm not going to answer whether you should go to school to further your career. I think you have that answer, or that answer has been given to you by your best friends or your family or the ones that you confide in. And they're right, basically.
And regardless, you got this, Christina.
Yeah.
All right. Shall I bring up our next question?
Please do.
All right. Marla, I always like to tell people before I bring them up in the chat. Marla, I'm going to bring you up now. Oh, she's smiling. She's happy. Hi, Marla. Okay, and Jessica G, I see your question here. I will bring it right back up. So be ready because Femme Tarot might need you to elaborate a little bit on the question. But before we do, we have Marla in the chat. Hi, Marla.
Hi.
How are you?
Hi again. I just spoke with her yesterday. It's the first time I've called in, or I'm not called in. I'm not sure what you call that.
Yeah, you called in. You're a new face for me. I always recognize a new face.
I've watched you since you've started, so I'm so happy for you.
Oh, thank you.
It seems like you have what you're doing.
I don't know. Femme Tarot said that I pick up on energies too, and I feel like you have this really infectious personality and energy. Wow, I really like this.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to ask a completely different question because I know yesterday we had talks about mom and my job. I'm curious, will I find Mr. Right out there? Is there love in my life one day?
That's a bit broad. So in order for us to get more a better answer, because too broad questions just for everyone to know, sometimes my guides don't want to answer that because it's just too general. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to give a little timeline. So let's say the next year.
Within the next year. Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay, so that makes more sense as well. And we'll see what's around it. And it's going to be more accurate than this.
Okay.
Very broad. Otherwise, you're going to get a broad answer and it's not going to help you.
Okay. Nobody likes a broad answer.
Nope.
Sorry.
No, I'm just kidding.
No. Oh, I have a jumper. Hold on. Well, you are thinking about it, and I got the wish card. Yes. The Star card. You are being led. You are being guided. It's almost like an affirmation. You affirm it. It's almost like you have this every day where you're like, please bring me someone that, I not only will I love, but they will love me back, and we can be companions.
Exactly. Yeah.
I feel that you want a companion. It's not this passionate thing that you want. You just want someone you can rely on and support each other. which is what everyone wants. All right. Yeah. So what I feel, hold on, I picked up this. Okay. Right. Let me start with this one. Okay. So this is how you feel right now. You're a bit down, a bit depressed, low self-esteem.
Yeah.
You're not sure what you've done wrong in the past or what you're doing wrong now, why things aren't, happening. Let me just remind you, there is a pandemic and the world's gone crazy. So right now, there is no logic and common sense in anything. Okay. So don't be too hard on yourself. That's what I'm trying to say, because I feel you are hard on yourself. You are the type that, you have quite high standards. Has Marla frozen?
Oh,
There you are. So I
Oh,
lost you for a minute.
has Marla frozen?
I don't know what happened. I was like, where's everybody?
You froze on a nice smile.
Oh, okay, great.
Exactly.
Anyway, the card you were telling me, yes, you're hitting
I don't know.
everything on.
Did you hear everything I said? Or
I did not hear totally everything. It was the second card with the woman
Right,
in
okay.
the.
So I was
Yes.
saying that, right, you're the type of person that you're quite hard on yourself. You expect a lot from yourself, and it kind of like reflects on other people as well. You project it on other people as well.
Yeah.
And this kind of brings you down. You have self-esteem issues at the moment. I mean, to me, not for no valid reason. It's mainly you, it's like you're bringing that negative kind of like outlook of things inwards towards you. And what you need now is to clear that energy. First of all, in order for you to be ready to receive love, you need to get rid of that energy and build on your self-esteem and love yourself. Very important. How is anyone able to receive love or even understand or even appreciate the love that they receive if they don't love themselves first?
Right.
And that's number one. Okay. Now, when it comes to the future, I get the Ace of Pentacles, definitely a new beginning. It's an ace. An ace is a new opportunity, new beginning. The funny thing is, you're not. Okay, so again, new beginning. I feel it's going to be more of an earth sign. Remind me your star sign, Marla.
I'm a Scorpio, is what you told me. But then I was born on the 23rd, October 23rd. So sometimes Libra.
No, it's not. No, it's
no?
a Scorpio. No,
Okay.
you're not on that cusp. Cusp would have been 20. But anyways, but depends. I have to look at your chart and see what degrees it is. We'll do that some other time.
Okay.
But I feel that there is going to be an earth sign coming in, a new opportunity, something that's going to be exciting, something that's going to give you hope. But I do feel that, and this comes from you, right? There's going to be, I have the Strength card. Because you are so, I feel so hard on yourself, and you've been through some stuff in life, and especially with all these losses that you've had, and it's been quite hard on you, and I do understand. And you missed that connection. You need that connection.
Yes.
You've become a tough cookie.
Yeah.
Okay. You need to soften up when this guy comes along. Okay. Don't be too hard on him, and don't test him too much, because I do feel that you're one of those that test. But I used to do that too. You too? Yeah,
I'm
I used
really
to do
good
that
at
too.
that.
About it.
Oh, it's so bad.
If I can test the patients, I will test them.
I'll test them too. But you know where that comes from? That comes from not believing in your choices, in your choice, and B, you have trust issues. How are you going to start a relationship without trusting? Well, I love how Adam went, is that me? No, but we're not talking about Adam. It's you have to learn. And again, once you start loving yourself, you won't have those trust issues, because you will realize that what's most important is you and no one else. So you won't care as much, and you're going to be more relaxed and free. So yeah, soften up, start healing, work on yourself, definitely new opportunity coming your way, and allow for this to expand, allow for this to happen.
I will start yoga again. I've practiced yoga on and off since I was 4. So my mom got me started in that. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to take your advice and do that.
Do what helps you. Do what you enjoy. Just work on yourself.
I will. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Marla.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye, Marla.
What a pretty smile.
She
Oh,
does.
wow.
It's infectious, her smile.
It
So
really is
cool.
infectious. All right, so I have 2 more questions in here before we go for you guys. One was Jess, and I said I would bring her back up, and she elaborated a little bit. I just want to bring up the first one.
Okay.
And then the other one is Kimpire, which someone actually asked him, is it Kimpire or K Empire? And if I've been calling him Kimpire on here and it's actually K Empire, I'm going to feel like an A ass. Okay. Okay. Jessica G. I am a Leo wondering about possible job opportunities in the near future. Things are at a standstill for me at the moment, wondering about my current education and if it's going to come to fruition. And then she elaborated a little bit more and said, to elaborate my question above, I haven't been feeling the greatest. COVID and some personal things have me have me waiting another semester to finish my education. I'm wondering what to do for myself.
So the question is basically what are you going to gain from this education, or if it's going to help you, is it going to boost you to find, once you're done, to find career opportunities?
Right.
Right. Okay.
Wondering about, because she's wondering about her current education and if it's going to come to fruition.
Okay, I had 2 jumpers. Let me just cut the deck 1 second. Knight of Wands, the Hermit. Listen, I do feel you're quite a passionate person, Jessica, and once you put your mind in something, and once you set a goal, and you're a Leo, so you definitely go for it, and that's how I feel right now. I feel that it's more out of stubbornness, the whole education thing. I kind of feel it's not really fulfilling for you, but it's sort of like you're stubborn, and you're like, I started this, I have to finish it, I have to end it, this is for my own good, this is going to help me. But I do feel that it kind of, though, have you isolated yourself? Are you feeling quite lonely and isolated? Are you sort of like ignoring calls from friends and acquaintances at the moment? And I feel that, yes. Okay. And because I do feel that the reason why you're doing that is because you're so confused, and a little bit, I just heard the word from my guides, embarrassed. I don't know why you feel embarrassed. Maybe you can elaborate, or don't. If you don't want to, it's fine. But I do feel that you feel kind of embarrassed, and that's why hence I have the Hermit. And it almost feels to me that you haven't resigned, but it's almost like you're allowing for things to happen without you putting too much effort in, and you're like, whatever happens, happens.
She's saying yes, definitely.
Okay, good. So we're on the same page, right? So I had 2 jumpers, 9 of Pentacles. One of my hairs. I'm sorry. Oops. It's and 9 of Pentacles. So are you funding your studies yourself, or are your parents helping you, or your guardians, or someone in your family helping you? I do feel that money is important to you, and you need that security, which you're not having at the moment. And then 7 of Wands. I love the 7 of Wands. To me, it just indicates that you are a confident, fiery, go-getter. And right now, you're just in a funk. You're just yourself. Okay, that's why there's all that pressure right now. But I do feel that you have so many qualities. You're so strong. You're very liked from people. You're social, which you feel like you've lost all this right now. You don't feel yourself, but you will eventually get there as well. But I'm not sure if they're asking Hanged Man. Okay, when it comes to your studies, I feel that there might be a little bit extended, or have you had to repeat a year or a class or something like that, and this is just driving you insane and you're feeling impatient, because Leos are not very patient, neither are Aries. But that's how I feel, and it is the Hanged Man. So hang in there. Just don't give up on your studies. Don't worry about career. Keep doing what you're doing. Put more effort in, believe in yourself, and eventually it will all fall into place for you.
All right, Jessica, it's going to be good. Keep your head up and never stop trucking. I really believe that. Never stop trucking along. All right. I want to bring up our last question on here. And guys, if you haven't already, go ahead, smash that like button. Before I do, Jessica said, definitely Leos aren't good for COVID. Yes, my placement got pushed back. Thank you so much. And hearts.
Hearts back. You're welcome.
All right. And then here we go. Kempire asked, Dear Femme Tarot, I have been considering...
Like a love letter.
Dear Femme Tarot. Yeah, I know. That's a little romantic, huh?
Right.
I have been considering moving and selling my house for various reasons, including bad neighbors. LOL. Should I move or wait? You need to watch the Investigates channel, Kempire, because sometimes those neighbors, they'll get you. So just saying. That's it. I'll let Femme Tarot answer with the cards, but I'm going to let you know that I watched some crazy shit. I don't mean to use that word, but neighbors get crazy.
Oops.
Oops.
Okay, let's see what's in for Kempire or KE Empire.
No, he said it's Kempire. Thank God.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Good.
Especially after finding out I've been calling Hermine Hermione this whole time.
I've been calling her Hermione as well.
Oh God.
Yeah. Well, what's that emotion? Do you have an emotional Kempire connection with that house? Was it inherited? Was it an inheritance? I feel there's an emotional attachment to that house. And I do see that you feel kind of trapped right now. Maybe because if you put it out for sale, you're not going to get the asking price because of the market and because of COVID and everything going on right now. I do feel there is that kind of like you feel sort of trapped in your environment, in your house.
He said, yes, the house has been in the family since the 70s. And yes, I feel trapped. Wow.
Yeah. You have that emotional attachment. It makes it so much harder to say, I have to make like a very sober decision regarding what's best for me, especially because you feel trapped. And you said your neighbors, you don't like your neighbors. I get it. I have a crappy neighbor. I can't stand him. He can't stand me. So it's fun, right? Anyways.
Try living in a building with 200 and something units. I have a few neighbors that don't like me. I met one this morning.
Anyways, let's not go there.
No.
So, and then I get the Hierophant. So to answer your question, I want to pull another card as well. Listen, I just got oh my God, I just got electricity all over my body because I kind of feel like, are you missing someone? Have you lost someone recently from your family? I feel like you're nostalgic, homesick. You miss a family member, maybe someone who just passed on. You're going definitely, Kempire, I can tell you one thing, whatever it is you're feeling, and I know what you're feeling because I'm feeling it right now, that feeling, which you can't sort of like pinpoint where it's coming from. I do feel mood swings, and I do feel sort of a sense of that you should be going towards a very different direction in life, but you're kind of resisting because you're not understanding that. I hope I'm making sense to you, Kempire. So that's because of the Hierophant. It's a major arcana, and that means that there are big changes coming your way, and there are going to be more spiritual changes. And also with a Hierophant, I also feel, is there a kind of a legal attachment as well? When it comes, are there some legal issues there with a house, or is there a mortgage or something like that as well? Because I feel that is kind of an attachment as well that is kind of putting you off making that or taking that step of selling or putting your house out, putting your house on the market. And it all comes down to what you're going through right now, which is that Hierophant as well. You want to break some chains. I feel that it's almost like you're having a rebellious streak right now. You're not like, you just want to do things your own way. You don't want to listen to other people's advice. It's just, he says there is a mortgage.
There's a mortgage.
Okay, great. Okay. So what I'm trying to say is, now is not the time for you to sell your house. I understand that you feel trapped, and I feel your energy. So I feel what you're going through. But what you have to do is deal with this first. What is happening, your direction, how you see yourself, and have more, think about these more, have more sober thoughts around why you want to sell, and what you want to do after you've sold the apartment. I hope that all makes sense. It's a bit deep, but I do feel that you're going through something deep and spiritual right now. So,
Right.
Makes sense.
All right, Kempire. Well, we hope that makes sense. And I love Kempire. Again, just guys, I know I'm not trying to just throw out a little plug here, but I just did an amazing podcast with him today. Such a lovable guy. He's super on it. Great conversation, very intelligent. And I hope I know we all go through things, but I hope he's not going through anything that is too strenuous. And if you are, and I think this is important for anyone to know, if we're going through stuff, that's why it's nice to come on these platforms and just realize there are other people who are going through similar things. So we don't have to always internally deal with all of those things. We can talk about it and we can share it with other people. You never know what your neighbor is going through. And I don't mean your literal neighbor, because that asshole, not that one, but this one. Well, actually, you know what I mean. I don't care what they're going through, but you know what I mean? Your neighbor. Okay, let's say that.
Yeah. Exactly. And that's why I'm here. And that's why I'm doing this, to be honest. And I started this during the pandemic, like coming onto YouTube. I never thought I would be doing this and having my own channel and coming onto your channel and all this. But I do it because I do realize that there have been a lot of transitions, energetic transitions and energies, and a lot of people are going through a lot. And I just want to help people understand what they're going through. You're not the only one. And not everything has to make sense. It will eventually make sense, but it doesn't have to make sense to you now. You have to work on you. And as I said to Marla, just everyone, like, work on you and love yourself. Honestly, this is it's the hardest thing to do. Okay. I'm not saying it's easy and you wake up tomorrow and you're like, I absolutely love myself and I'm in love with who I am. It's hard, but you have to start that process.
Unless you're Jason's vein out, so you might say that. No, I'm just kidding, Jason. Well, all right. Well, we went in an hour and 12 minutes. We went 12 minutes over, which was good. We took some calls. We had a great, Jason said this was his favorite Below Deck recap with us ever. So that's exciting. Also, guys, don't forget to go check out Jason's own personal Below Deck recap on his channel, Down with Jason. I need to plug it in here somewhere. And you guys can go follow, since we were just talking about Kempire, on all podcasts, any of those networks, at Kempire. You can go follow him. And Femme Tarot, before we go, I just want to say, as always, thank you so much for joining us. It's always a pleasure. Can you let us know where we can find you?
That's why I said, oh God, I'm like, oh, here we go. I have to plug myself. Right.
You have to plug yourself. People have to know where they can find you.
All right. So it's quite easy. I'm on Instagram, I'm on Facebook, and I'm on YouTube as Femme Tarot. Very easy. And also, if you want to book a reading, you can go onto my website, www.femtarot.com. You can fill out the form or just send me an email. And that's it.
And don't be shy, guys. And I'm telling you, it is worth your time. Seriously. And guys, next week, I'll make sure to get the video up too. For anyone who's watching who didn't catch the live thread, I will make sure to get it up in advance. That way everybody knows what time to go on, call in. This was a little bit last minute. I apologize. It was all my fault. But next time, I've got you. I will post it on Monday night. I promise. With that being said, we'll see you guys next time. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you haven't already, go ahead, smash that like button. Go follow Femme Tarot. Kempire, thank you so much, Shannon Van. Thank you, Kim. I love you, Kim. I miss you. Thank you, Marla, for calling. Lynette, I saw that you had a question. Come back. We saw that you had a little bit of a disconnect in the video, so I was trying to bring you up. And then also, Sarah, I was trying to bring you up too, but it said no devices connected. So I'm sorry, but I'm sure we'll get it worked out next time. With that being said, we'll see you then. Bye, guys.
Bye. Bye.